There are some things that you have to experience to understand. And for me, Reiki was one of them. Today I'm coming to meet with Carol Chapman. Carol is a licensed clinical professional counselor, as well as a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. She's had a private practice for 7 years and has been practicing Reiki for over 15. She's agreed to sit down and talk with me about Reiki, its effect on her, and its presence in Bangor. Well, first I'd like to know, what is Reiki?
Reiki is a life force energy that is given to the client through the practitioner, and it goes to all the places in the body that needs to be healed.
And how does one get into Reiki?
I was very interested in all kinds of healing, and so Reiki just seemed like a natural step for me. And it was something that a friend of mine did as a master, and she was a teacher.
In the late 1800s, a Japanese man by the name of Dr. Usui climbed Mount Kuruma in Kyoto, Japan. According to history, Dr. Usui fasted for 21 days, and it was there that he discovered the life force energy to which he dubbed Reiki. Only in the 1930s did Reiki finally move west to America, where it has spread across the country to communities like Bangor.
Reiki is quite popular in a lot of places, and Bangor is just a little slower to take on something that's sort of more New Age-ish, where there's no real proof that it works. In Portland, Reiki is very well known, and everybody sort of knows who does it and where to go for it. In Bangor, I think it's really ready, and I'm excited to see that growth happening.
If I look confused, it's likely because I am. Now, I understand the history of Reiki, and I understand its growing presence, but what exactly does Reiki help with?
It can help with inflammation, it can help with healing, it can help with addictions, it can help with depression, it can help in many ways.
There isn't necessarily a lot of fact-based evidence to support these claims, but if true, I have to assume that Reiki would be beneficial for a lot of people. We briefly turned off the cameras at Carol's request so she could start out with a personal process that she does to prepare for each Reiki session. Now, in the beginning, I was very suspicious. I wasn't sure if I was going to feel anything right now or if I was going to feel anything at all. When she first started, she was focused around my head, and that's all I felt. It wasn't until her hands covered my eyes where things changed. My ears were flooded with the sounds of crashing waves, and I could see a rocky coastline. I know it sounds bizarre, but that was my experience, at least the start of it. It was at this point that things decided to get a little stranger. She moved my hands next to my sides, and I just felt a weird sense of consented paralysis. I know it sounds bizarre, those two words together, but that's the best way to put it. There was no obligation that transcended the session that made me feel like I needed to move. I just laid there, and that was okay. At the end of my session, I felt an overwhelming sense of relaxation, but I was eager to try this for myself. Unfortunately, through my naive excitement, I failed to realize that one needs to take a class in order to perform Reiki, so I couldn't try it. Nonetheless, I felt as though today was successful and I learned about a new form of therapy. As the day came to an end, I couldn't help but think that not many other counselors offer Reiki to their patients. At least, not here in Bangor.